Well, I chose to run as student president for a few reasons. One, I've been a student here at Mount Hood. I've seen a number of the things that I feel are lacking. Two, I went ahead and restarted a club. The Mad Scientist was our previous science club, but it had been defunct. So I started a new one. I know how difficult it can be to start a club. It's not simple and easy when it really comes down to it. Starting it is, but going ahead and actually making it work, making it successful is not, because the support is not there. As said, getting new members, that can be hard. A lot of us here in the clubs, we are in each other's clubs because there aren't that many people involved in the clubs right now. We need to actually get students aware of the clubs. We need to actually go ahead and promote the clubs more and support them in their creation. And further, I feel driven to provide my all wherever I am. So that's why I started a club in the first place and why I'd like to be here. And also, I feel that I have a vision, for how we can go ahead and change this campus that resonates with people and also that is unique amongst the other candidates.
William will lead this question. How will you ensure the growth and implementation of a diversity resource center?
I've been privileged enough to hold the position of the Director of Diversity here, and with the help of our current ASG President and Vice President, we've been able to see a proposal through in its 9th draft to the administration, working as a liaison and building those gaps of communication in order to have the administration institutionalize the Diversity Resource Center. As I mentioned before, it's been a long process and it's been a long talk, but in the end, it's what we need. Mount Hood is the only school in Oregon that doesn't have a multicultural center or a diversity resource center, and the time is now. And we have measures and measurable outcomes in place in the proposal that will see that through. Cultural competency, measuring where we are now and where we will be a year from now, is really crucial in this process.
My answer there would be, utilizing the energy that's already there. We have great impetus to bring that to fruition, and a lot of hardworking individuals that want to see that through. So, as leader of the student government and the Senate, I would like to incorporate the energy of the individuals who want to see that come together, help work with the proposal process, and as far as funding goes, in funding those kinds of things, we are facing certain budget issues on the school side, so there are issues with programs that may get cut. So, it comes back to there are grants out there, there are different funding lines, and it's a matter of investigating research and putting the energy into finding the solutions to the problems that we get faced with all kinds of things. So I just want to help see that through. Yeah.
I think that the growth and implementation of a diversity center is along the same lines of any other club and activities that we have here. It requires attention, awareness. It requires those people that are involved with it to get out there, to make statements, to let it be known that it exists. So many things here, so many activities and events, people are just unaware of what's happening. Whether it's through lack of just caring, of paying attention, or that the information isn't be out there. That's an issue that needs to be addressed. We need to find out why people don't care or why people aren't there. I think being able to help people be aware of the things that are available to us will help students. Will help students be happy here and increase our retention. But it all comes down to that fact of how do you get that information out there. Thank you.
May I have the exact question again?
How will you ensure the growth and implementation of a diversity resource center?
Well, as I said before, a strong selling point in our campaign is that we want to support programs that already exist. As it was said before, this idea has been rolling for decades now and has been drafted for almost the past 2 years. It is definitely going to cost a little bit of money, though it's being budgeted fairly. No money is being tuition is not going to rise with the implementation of this. It is a mixture of both ASG funding and student funding burden, and has been decided upon almost the entire school that this would be an amazing resource for the entire student body as a whole. However, when you're implementing an entirely new program like that, there are going to be a lot of speed bumps at this point. And I believe that me, as a flexible and strong leader, would be able to effectively guide people as far as getting over these speed bumps and being able to help them out. So, thank you.
In talking about a diversity resource center, this is a great idea, yes. We do need one here because we're the only ones without it. But we need to think out our ideas. We need to actually have the details. And heck, this still isn't set in stone yet. We're still not sure it'll exist. But of course, if it does, without a doubt, our campaign will support this in the same way that we'll be supporting clubs and all other events around this campus. As I said, via promotion, via getting students involved. Now, this all at the same time shows a fault that we have in our ASG sometimes, where we don't fully think out our ideas. We don't have the details. When our director of diversity came to SOC asking SOC what the students thought, well, SOC doesn't always know exactly what the students think. We need to survey the students to actually find out what the students feel about things. When we as SOC asked, what are the details of this Diversity Resource Center? There weren't details there. It was some general ideas. Well, it'll do this, it'll do this. And as a general idea, it is great, but we need those details if we're going to be spending that much money on a Diversity Resource Center. Thank you.
Can you repeat the question again, please?
How will you ensure the growth and implementation of a diversity resource center?
I applaud our current Vice President and President, Jackie and Erica, and Director Miller here for doing such a great job in this proposal. I know that it's not set in stone, but if elected, I want to be there. I want to see it grow. I am a diverse student here. I am a minority. And I want everyone to experience diversity, accept and respect. And it means that each individual is unique, and it's also recognizing our individual differences. It's not just about race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, age, physical abilities, religious beliefs, political beliefs. I want every student to be exposed to diversity, even if it's just for a couple hours. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael will lead this question. As a 54-year-old returning to school in the fall, what do you want to see for senior citizens returning to school?
That's a really great question. That plays into the dynamic and diverse group that we have here on campus. I'm 33 and I'm returning back to school as well. I've been a professional, so it's a matter of, it comes down to resources and efficiency in the program. Especially with I think our older demographic of people, is that it's a no nonsense way of dealing with finances and money, and if there are issues that get in the way and they just don't make sense, we lose that demographic of people who could go to school here and be a really great resource of knowledge and experience here on campus. It's a matter of, again, coming back to the idea of communication and collaboration. So it's opening up the communication and understanding that is a need and a concern of a group of people here at our school, and then targeting energy towards making that more efficient and finding out what the problems really are and resolving them. Thank you.
Can you repeat the question?
As a 54-year-old returning to school in the fall, what do you want to see for senior citizens returning to school?
I think one of the biggest problems that senior citizens are faced with here is mobility, because Mount Hood is a split-level campus and there's only a few elevators. A lot of people aren't aware of where these elevators are located. I think proper signage is an important thing that's going to really help people with disabilities, people that are a little bit older and things like that, because there is such a broad spectrum of that. And making sure that people are aware of things like this, because even the people that just get injured once or twice, they should still be able to know where these things are. So, thank you.
About 2 years ago, my father unfortunately lost his job at